pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Approval of the minutes. We have a chance to read the minutes.
Yes.
Legislator Martino, second by Legislator Yurt. All in favor?
Aye.
Alright. Resolutions, IP1, resolution authorizing budgetary modification to the Highway Department to transfer funds from insurance recovery fund into highway expense. First by Legislator Twist, second by Legislator Lockwood. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. IT2, resolution authorizing the deletion of one position in the Highway Department. First by Legislator Twist, second by Legislator Yurden. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. IT3, resolution authorizing and establishing an additional hours account line for the Department of Highway. First by Legislator Holt, second by Legislator Yurden. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. IT4, resolution establishing capital project number 0124, the Department of Highway Equipment 2024. Promotion, Legislator Twist, second by Legislator Walpole. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. IT5, resolution amending resolution number 415 dated December 14th, 2023, capital project 0423 to the capital project number E0423. Motion, Legislator Holt, second by Legislator Lockwood. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, IT6, resolution authorizing budgetary modification Department of Solid Waste Landfill and Transfer Stations, other equipment to additional hours in the account. We have to make a correction on this. IT6 info, last paragraph, write out 24,000 needs to write out 18. As amended.
I'll make a motion to amend.
First by Legislator Twist, second by Legislator Martino. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? IT7, resolution authorizing budgetary modification buildings and grounds increasing capital project number CO323, Oswego County flooring. We have to make an amendment on that. That needs to be changed from 67,508.84 to 70,508.84.
Motion.
First by Legislator Martino, second by Legislator Walpole. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Walpole, IT8.
Okay.
Business payment.
Yes, last minute as we all continue to wait. The up, and it's a short period of time, therefore we have to move, get this developed in order for us to apply for the grant. Therefore, we have a resolution authorizing the county attorney to form a development corporation for the purpose of future structure development. This will enable us to apply for the grants for things such as broadband and small things.
I'll second that. Report, I second.
Second. Get that, Raven? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Bid 23 HW 016 motor oils. Molly, you want to fill us in?
Okay, so this bid went out 2 times. This is the second time because we wanted refined oil but not re-refined oil. So, anyway, it was bid again so that we could specify not re-refined oil. Superior Lubricants won. They are also the lowest bidder. Protest, but, on the first one,
Yeah.
because they thought that re-refined oil was as good, but I talked to our attorney. He wrote a letter, and, they didn't protest after they received the letter, which he stated, we have the right to have our own specifications for whatever we put out the bid.
Okay, first by legislator Wall,
Second.
second by legislator Lockwood. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Add 2 cell phone lines to preventive health posts. Yeah.
It's consistent with others that we have, it's client contact, where they're doing home visits and also it's phone calls responding, so they think that they not using their own device.
Yeah.
We'll do it one at a time. First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Martino. And we got add 1 cell phone line to the criminal investigation division.
Same scenario there, they're, well, talking to witnesses and not make sense if they're using their personal devices.
Legislature. On the first one?
Yeah.
All right, well, go back to add to, need a motion, first by,
Already did it. All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Any opposed? Nope.
Now, back to the next one, add 1 cell phone line to criminal investigation division. Motion, legislator Yurden, second by legislator Holst, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Okay. And next, fair for a few days. We do this every year. We go out and Councilor Fair. July 3rd, July 8th, Fair, August 10th and 11th. October 4th, 5th, and 6th. That's for their fall fest as well, the other event. Just make a motion.
First by legislator Yurden, second by legislator Walpole.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. You done? Are you done?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. On the reporting departments, buildings and grounds department, update.
Updates, they've started the elevator project here. They expect to be on each floor for 2 weeks, for a total of 9 weeks, and we should have a new elevator in. On Thursday, a meeting with architects and engineers up in Pulaski to possibly start that project, renovating the outside of the Pulaski Courthouse. And then our big project is Bunner Street, which I've had a few complaints up there. Employees at the other end are complaining about the diesel smell up there for fuel and stuff, which they're not using any diesel fuel up there. It's all propane, indoor equipment. Hack masonry, put fans up and stuff, push the air more towards the mental health side, so hopefully that helps with that. We've had some asbestos issues up there. In the original contract, they only had a certain amount to be removed. And I think that, and we've approved it since then, that there's an additional asbestos up there, and it should all be removed at this point.
Yes.
For the future of the building, for anything down the road, so we've been working on that. We've had mold on the first and second floor up there in a few different areas. As we see that, we've been improving that to get it taken care of. Also, CNS kind of missed some of the HVAC equipment that they wanted to continue to use. It's from the early 90s. So we've asked for an additional price on that to get that taken care of while we're doing this project. I think we're going to have some hidden costs along the way. I'm going to keep everybody updated as much as I possibly can. I encourage everybody, if they want to walk through the building during this, let's do it. Just grab a hard hat and let's walk through. We're looking right now into removing a couple things that CNS did put in the project just to save money to possibly offset some of these additional spendings. But that's pretty much it.
Thanks, Rick. Thanks.
Can I ask you a question, or are we allowed to?
No.
Rick, do you have concerns that CNS missed something that big?
I have a few concerns with CNS right now. I think they missed quite a few things that PAC has, they've asked for different information and additional information on different things. Yeah, I think it's going to have to go back and forth, we're working it out right now, but yeah, CNS missed quite a few things on this, I believe.
Yeah, that's costly. And
Yeah, in the
it's what we
print,
hired them for.
right, in the prints, they've missed quite a few things. So I think when PAC looked at this, and originally they kind of seen some things, and I think now they're gonna make extra money off of it.
We always have that at the county.
Right, well, this is, I mean, we hire these people, they do presentations, you try to pick the best person you can, and then from there, sometimes this happens.
But Marie, we have a contract, construction manager with Chase, and they've been really good with holding CNS's because
Right,
the
right.
buyer,
Who's the,
with Chase, they're out of Syracuse. They've been very good,
They
right?
are, yeah, I mean,
have they refunded money to us, CNS?
it's gonna go back and forth the whole job, where, there will be swapping things out and doing things to stay in that budget.
Did CNS do the prints?
They did.
Wow.
Yeah, I have your thoughts too.
I think we all.
We could meet with them at some point.
Yeah, I think
If there's any concerns, we could set up a meeting with them and address some
And
concerns.
that's, we're gonna have a monthly meeting, we're supposed to have an owners meeting once a month, and when we have our next one, I'll ask some of you guys to come, or whoever wants to come.
Definitely.
I think
Christmas wish for last year was 2 weeks. Bunner Street's gonna be done the end of this year. Is this gonna mess up that project date?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think
Mike.
the schedule still should be the same.
The age of that building, what's that building, in the 70s?
Yes.
Okay. Based on the age of the building, there should have been a total asbestos review of the whole building, because up to 1976, they used asbestos. After 76, you couldn't use it in construction. So, because of the age of the building, there should have been, CNS should have conducted a review of the whole building.
Which they did, but then they decided in their prints to leave some different areas, that the flooring and just some different things. They said, we're not gonna touch this area, or, whatever, but
But when they do that whole thing, whether you use it, you gotta take it out.
I agree with you
Like
100%.
Fed code. So there's no real excuse for them to do that.
Right.
But I know we've had some major projects up there since the early 70s. You would think that would have been done at
It
that.
depending on how massive it was. Like in this case here, they did half the building, okay, so it's over 50% of the building.
Well, I know they had redone it there back in the 80s, right?
They did some of it, they did, heat pumps and that stuff, but not flooring. And that's some of the problem here is, in some of these areas, they have carpeting stuff on it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they pull the carpet up and they see these old floor tiles underneath it.
Yeah.
Understood.
10% floor tiles made by Armstrong was 10%.
Right. Let's let her twist.
I'm good.
Are you good? Okay.
No, we can meet with them and, go from there, discuss it.
Highway,
Well, as you see, we got some beautiful weather, we aren't plowing.
are we gonna rebate some of that?
Saved a ton of money.
Not really.
Why not?
If you look at it, when temperatures are at 33, 34 degrees, we're still out salting. So, believe me. You saved quite a bit, not a ton.
Saved a lot.
Alright, so when we're not doing that, we're out doing some ditching, believe it or not, this time of year. I've never seen it, the 30-some odd years I've been there. So, we're ditching.
We saved a lot of money on material, but unfortunately, we had bid processes.
Correct.
And we end up ordering the same stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they call it a bid, because you have to tell them you're gonna buy it before they give you the price.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand that.
Kind of defeats the purpose of having a bid process.
It does. So, little update on the mix plant. I talked to them last week. I wish they had everything built now because we can get it done right now, but they said they might be like almost a week behind, but they're humping, they're making parts and doing everything they
What's a
got.
week behind on the schedule? Is it gonna be up and running by the first of April?
No, May.
May.
May it was, yes. We're looking at May. So, that's when we approach that, because that's when we always start, so.
Sure. Nobody anticipated not being able to work outside.
Right, and that's what it was. They could be outside working now, believe it or not, but that's where we are with that. And, I mean, I'm doing a lot of maintenance on the buildings. We're getting that caught up. I got a couple of good guys that's going around taking care of buildings, painting, blah, blah, blah. Redoing floors, so.
Any questions?
Okay, thanks.
Solid waste.
Okay, let's start with the IRF. We got our permits in for the river water intake structure at the DEC and Canal Corp, so we're waiting for approvals on them, and then we'll start enacting. Got a notification from the DEC, my Title V permit was incomplete. We did our RACT analysis and need hazardous air pollutant analysis, which I have B&L working up for me as we speak. That's due next month. We may have to install NOx monitoring equipment and NOx abatement equipment. I'm putting that pricing together. The equipment alone and getting it installed with the SEMS integrated into our current SEM system. It's approaching $180K is what I'm coming up with. The other thing we're looking at, we're talking to companies that sell and install this stuff. We're trying to get an operating cost. And we could be looking at 20,000 gallons a week of aqueous ammonia, which then would also add to our compressed air needs, approximately 600 CFM of air. So again, I'm working on this and getting it put together so we can discuss it. We have to proceed forward with it. Along the lines with the air, the 4 air compressors we have were installed in '99 at the refit. They've got tens of thousands of hours on them. So I'm currently in talks with the major compressor manufacturers, and then I'll get with Holly. We'll put a spec together and put a bid out for compressed air project. I did touch base with a company called Hoskinson out of Jacksonville, Florida. Gary Hoskinson was one of the partners of Consumat, the original vendor for the incineration system at the IRF. This outfit has taken the technology forward a few steps, which may in turn help our emissions stuff. And again, this is just a preliminary discussion. So as I learn more, I'll update the group as to, a possible refit of the IRF. And we did get an IRF 360 application in the end of last month. It is up the end of July. It has to be in 6 months early, so that's done. Part of that approval process, I will have to install radiation monitoring at my scale. So I'll be talking to you about that probably in May. I'll try to get that. We'll switch to the landfill. We had a pre-bid meeting last week for cell 5, and we had quite a few people there. Holly was there. Those bids are due February 20th, which is also the date of that everything's due to this committee. So we'll put a placeholder in with Raven, and I'll get the numbers in the boxes as soon as I can, so I can bring that forward for March and to the full floor in March for that project. My big concrete leachate tank in the back is original to the landfill, 8586. The steel door is a big steel door. It's approximately 8 feet by 8 feet. It's showing signs of some weeping. I actually had Matt Fuller from B&L stop this morning. We're going to get the tank emptied. We're in the process of emptying it. So that will be a potential little emergency project I'll talk with Holly about. We'll have to address the door so we don't spill 1 million gallons of leachate back into the swamp. We don't want to do that. January 10th, high winds we had, took the power out at Bristol Hill on the 13.8 side, so I had to replace the high voltage. I didn't, Scribe Electric replaced the high voltage fuses at the road and back at the MRF. So we were down for a day and a half, but that's fixed. That's about it for, that's about it.
Jeez, that's it?
Anything happy to tell him?
Just got a smile on his face, he just got done getting through reading it.
Oh, I do have a question. Jeremiah and I were talking, with the April 8th eclipse coming through, are we supposed to be preparing anything? On the solid waste side, I'll be as prepared as I can be. But are we gonna have craziness around here?
Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
Yes, you will.
Okay.
Hotels are about 80% booked already. There's events at the Speedway, there's events all through the county, there's events at the college. We're at a location where the eclipse will have one of the longest viewing periods on its path. And we've had, the tourism department has had inquiries for months now about what to do when they get here, where to go, where to stay. And they've been working with the lodging folks and the other people who have events planned throughout the county. So I would, the answer to your question is, yeah, you're going to see an influx probably larger than the Salmon Run in September or larger than Harbor Fest. It'll be significant, even though it's in April.
We'll be as ready as we can on the solid waste side.
Part of the police in my head is telling me not to say anything. Yeah. So now you know about it.
Marie, did you have something?
I do, but it's already passed because I didn't have a chance. I've been trying to speed read through this for future infrastructure development, this infrastructure corporation we formed. Is Rich around?
Yeah.
Can he get, I mean, cause I'm reading this, this might not be such a great thing. I know it's already passed, but LDCs and similar entities are not subject to public procurement laws and require certain contracts to be bid competitively, and the debt of these entities issue, even if the benefit of a local government is not subject to the limits or debt established for most municipalities in New York State Constitution. The use of LDCs and similar organizations to finance local government operations and projects increases the risk of waste, fraud, or abuse of taxpayer dollars or assets. I've been trying to read this. There are 19 pages, but
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly think we
So-
should have had a better explanation for this, Billy. Drop, vote, zero research.
So the only thing that you authorized today was for the county attorney to form a corporation,
An
right?
LDC,
Yeah.
which they're warning right here.
Right, well,
Very,
from that, it's controlled by the county, so you, the board, the legislature, the chairman, will determine the members of that board and the agenda of that board, so you'll have direct input into everything that they do. You didn't authorize them to do anything today, to spend any money.
well, we authorized the formation of a corporation.
Right,
That's like creating a person. We just created
Right.
something with all kinds of power.
but it can't do anything until it has a board assigned to it, and you're the body that will create that board and give it its marching rules. So you have direct control over all projects it undertakes.
This is a bigger deal than we realize, just so everybody knows.
You want
Okay.
me to get hold of Rich?
We need it.
Well, I'm gonna go talk to him, but I'm gonna have this printed.
Rich,
Can you
yeah.
print something for me by chance?
How much grant money are we talking?
Can you email that to me?
So we needed to form this in
Okay.
order to apply for the grant, correct?
Yeah, well, the first one that's coming up is for broadband, and the application is due March 8th, and it has to have local ownership of some form.
Right.
So rather than the county owning infrastructure assets, broadband, miles of fiber, this entity could be your representative to own those assets, partner with a internet service provider to build and maintain a system. But again, you didn't authorize any of that today. You just could form a body that could possibly do that if you decided you wanted to do that.
So basically,
It's part of the application process. The state is
No.
requiring us to do this?
No, the state isn't requiring us to do this. It requires us, if we want the broadband money, it requires us to have an ownership stake in the broadband network of some form. And it's more beneficial to have this entity represent the county than have it be the county itself.
so basically, if the corporation would protect the county regardless, is that what I'm understanding?
We're talking about why there should be a local development corporation instead of the county with ownership in water, sewer, broadband.
Not
How
prepared
much
to discuss
ARPA
that.
money do we save for broadband?
That is on the discussion for tomorrow. I'm not prepared to discuss it, and I did not prepare a resolution, so anything you have in front of you should just table, because it's probably incorrect.
This here?
I didn't prepare that. I don't know what it
Okay.
It
says.
just authorizes you to create a corporation if
I
you
would
work
just
out the
table,
other details.
I would just table that resolution.
Thank you.
We're gonna have discussions tomorrow, and we can address it then.
Will it come back to us, Rich? Will it come back?
Everything would have to come back to the legislature for approval, but there has to be specific language in the resolution, so I would
But that's not the resolution.
Pardon?
That's not the resolution.
I haven't prepared a resolution.
That's what we're saying, but I understand that. That's giving you authorization to prepare a resolution.
I don't need, all you need to do is ask me to prepare a resolution. You don't need to pass a resolution to tell me to prepare a resolution. So I would ask you to table that, we'll get something for you, and we'll go from there. I need to discuss this further as I stated, so, okay? That would be my request.
So we have to make a motion
To rescind it, right?
I'll make a motion to rescind IT 8, is it? Or IT 8? We need a second.
Okay. I'll second table.
No, we gotta rescind
We
it.
gotta rescind it, we gotta rescind it.
I gotta rescind it.
You can't table it.
Oh, I thought you said it is
No,
table.
we said-
We already,
Yeah, we already passed it.
so we have to rescind it. And I'll make a motion to rescind IT 8. Need a second, you got a second?
First by legislator, was second by legislator. Did you have a question?
No.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And this will come back just before the meeting.
Right. Yeah.
Which one?
Oh. We all set with all that? All right. Solid waste, airport.
So pre-applications were due to the FAA January 31st. So we submitted 3 grant pre-applications. One to replace and relocate the rotating beacons, the big green and white light. That'd be the construction phase. We are currently in the design phase, finishing wrapping that up right now. We also submitted a grant pre-application for the rehabilitation of taxiways B and D, and that's construction phase also. Again, we're currently in the design phase of that project right now. We're going to wrap that up. And the third pre-application that we just submitted is for a new payloader with a 30-foot wide reversible plow. That's bipartisan infrastructure law. That's guaranteed money. We have $475,000 banked into that account right now for that loader. We will have a 5% share on all of these projects. Those are pre-applications. Holly has been extremely patient in understanding it. I appreciate it. We have to go out to bids now to get actual dollar numbers for these projects. And then we'll submit the actual final applications based on those numbers. So I've got the pre-applications and the bid documents in the FAA's hands right now for their review and approval. And then in the next week or two, we'll be putting a lot of these projects out to bid. So next committee meeting, I'll probably have.
What was the price on the first 2?
So the beacon is, these are all engineer's estimates right now.
Yeah.
$375,000 total.
Yeah.
Local share $18,750.
Yeah.
The taxiway B and D total is about $2.2 million, and the county share is $111,000. And then the 5 person infrastructure law, the front end loader and plow, total is about $527,000 with a county share of $26,000. So total for all three is $3.127, and the county share for that $3 million is $156,000. We are basically guaranteed to get the funds for these projects. They're on our 5-year capital improvement plan for this, so we've been discussing these with the FAA for these 5 years. There's a lot of airports asking for a lot of money this year. They are only funding construction-phase projects for this year. So all 3 of these are construction. And again, the BIL loader, that's banked for the last couple of years for this project. We actually have had some discussions. I'm meeting with a gentleman this week about bringing a different blimp to the airport again this year, probably a couple different times. It's not year this time. But, and I don't know, most of you have been around for a while, but years ago we had started talking with New Air about some drone activity at the airport. It's finally seeming like it's coming to fruition. We've got the one company that we had the hopes of working with through New Air at our facility. We've really started some heavy discussions with that now. I should be able to bring a gentleman in charge of that company to the committee next month, if it's okay, and give a brief presentation. Absolutely. I appreciate that. Absolutely. I'd like to know more about it. Maria?
Brandon, is there like a revenue stream? I was there for the
what we're
New Air
going to do,
meeting.
so what we're going to do is, we don't have a facility usage fee right now. Basically, we have hangar rent, landing fee, stuff like that. But if there's
Really cheap thing.
well, we're actually more expensive than some of the others. But so we're working. Watertown is another airport that is going to be working with this same company. So we're working with Watertown International and seeing what realistic usage fees will be. So yes, there will be revenues.
We have a lot of airspace, so that should be better.
Actually, our airspace and its proximity to the restricted area over Lake Ontario is the crucial component to this. So yeah, it's
worth it.
Yes, and I think it really should happen this time finally. We're looking to start probably April time.
5 years later. Is that how long ago?
Unfortunately, FAA holdups were a lot of this. There's also a little bit of a migration from Griffiths, where New Air used to be based. They're kind of moving away from Griffiths right now. So working with this company and New Air at this time, I think is crucial to us.
Do you have the money in your budget for this
I have no money.
local share?
I don't get any money in my budget. I don't.
Commingled with highway. It's so weird.
So actually, for
You
these
think so
projects,
too? I'm glad somebody else thinks that.
for these projects,
I gotta fix those trucks.
No offense.
Good share.
I give them a lot.
Here's what it works. For these projects, usually I get with Phil, and they'll come from the highway street equipment, or whatever. He'll let me know where to take the local shares from. So, no, I do not have local shares in my budget. I think I have $300 in the airport capital reserve when we sold Suburban Airport. That's all.
So this is what you talked to me about back in October. I see you back with an ISAC, and I had been down to Griffiths, and so this is the same thing. Very Any questions? This is department update.
Just 3 things. We're just wrapping up the upgrade to our Laserfish environment. That is the software that, for example, the Treasury Department's Certificate of Residence program runs on. Health Department has an application on there as well, and DSS, they have 3 or 4 document storage repositories we built for them. The upgrade we did was in the context of the one expansion piece of Laserfish, which is for the county clerk's record center project. we're taking our existing, we took our existing separate environment, one at DSS and one at the Public Safety Center, and they're consolidated essentially to a different licensing model, which is sort of an enterprise grade model. To move to that on top of what we were spending for the county clerk's project, I think it was an additional $5,000 or $6,000 we put into it to move from their Advante license model to their Rio model. It actually saved us about $100,000 in licensing. They were just the beginning of this year changing their licensing model, so we got this in at the end of the year. Got this paid for, and we just completed the upgrade here really today. So that positions us well for expanding the use of Laserfiche. We have half a dozen applications. Broome County, for example, has a couple hundred. So there's many kind of paper-bound processes we could potentially automate in here. So it's some future efficiencies for us, and we got kind of a bargain price here, piggybacking it with the county clerk's project. So that's a good one to have done. Another upgrade we have scheduled for next week, we're working on now. The county clerk's IQS server, that's the county clerk system. You may recall that the system, the compromises in Suffolk County came through their county clerk's network. This particular system, the IQS system, we did an upgrade to it a couple years ago. The vendor actually had separate remote access into that. That was eliminated, and we'll move behind our firewall. This next piece is to take there's an old physical server in the basement of this building that the IQS software runs on. We're virtualizing that. The servers are built, and it's moving the data over next week. It's kind of a separate entity right now as well. It's going to be moved down to the county domain along with all the workstations in the county clerk's office. So we'll do that next Tuesday night, and then I think Terry's planning on opening the office a couple hours late the next morning so we can finish moving all the workstations over to the county domain. They'll be fully in the scope of our security software suites and other management tools that we have. So that's compared to where it was a couple of years ago. It was really a mess. That is, by the end of next week, will be dialed in really the way it should be. Nothing's 100% secure, but it's a much better architecture for that system. And the third thing I wanted to mention, we're working through an assessment for the Board of Elections for cybersecurity. A couple of years ago, there was a cyber regulation passed by New York State specific to elections infrastructure. There was that working group that developed those standards. I was a member of that working group, so I'm pretty familiar with the scope of this. There's about 100 cybersecurity points. It's an assessment, so it's not a formal audit. This is New York State Board of Elections getting a sense of where the individual county BOEs are positioned from a cybersecurity standpoint, and the results of the assessment, which we're going to be reviewing with the commissioners tomorrow, should translate into some grant funding for additional improvements for Board of Election systems. We've made a lot of progress from where things were 3 years ago. We're in pretty good shape, but this is a much more detailed application of the cyber regulation. I think there's some things in it that the staff at BOE may not be excited about, but they're part of the regulation, and they're going to have to go into effect at some point. So we'll have some additional work to do on this for sure. That's it.
Very good. Any questions? Tim, did you? No? You're good? All right. Looking for the appropriate motion?
Before you make the appropriate motion,
Yes, sir.
I just would like to know that Mike Bearden has so graciously told me he was around for the first eclipse.
No, the last eclipse.
The last eclipse. Well, I don't know, it could have been.
It could have been.
I only got one question to that. The question is what happens if it's cloudy that day or it snows? Are we still gonna see it? Thank you. All right, appropriate motion.
Motion to adjourn.
First by legislator Martino, second by legislator Lockwood, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.